This video is going to show you how to assign instructional resources to your students based off the standards. This is not from any test results of the predictive forms that they have taken. This is just where you can choose what standards and which resources that you would like to assign. So if you go to the menu and click Instructional Resources, there's a couple of options. Down here is the automatic reassignment. You'll want to set that if you want it to automatically reassign it to your student if they do not score a certain percentage. Mine are already set, so I'll show you what it looks like. You can click search, it will pull them up, and then you would check mark all of them and then click on the select score. So it'll pop up, and then it's a slider bar, and you can move it to whatever percentage that you would want them to get. I'm not going to change mine since mine is already set, so I'm going to go ahead and click cancel, and then you can see that it will show you that anyone that scores between a 0 and 82%, then it will automatically reassign. So that means that my students can only miss one question on the tutorials out of the 6 in order to not have to retake it. So that's proficiency. So that's that set up. So you can go back to Instructional Resources and click on the Assign Resources. And this will give you a menu of options. And you're going to choose one of your classes. Once you choose that class, you'll see all of your students. And you can go over here and click on not, or leave it on not assigned if you have not done anything yet. If you have, you can click on assigned and you can pull up the ones that have already been assigned to them. Now keep in mind, if you are doing a mass assigning, because of the large data, you can only do about 4 students at a time to do assign all. So you can do 4 and then click the assign all, and it will assign all them, then go and uncheck those and check the next 4. You know, they have to group them like that because of the large data that it is producing if you're trying to assign a whole set of standards to them. If you're not trying to do that, then you can select them all and then just click on the ones that you want to do. It's a lot of data when you have it all students, so just keep that in mind. But to assign them, you're going to go down here and select your standards, whether you want the Common Core or the Indiana Math. We're doing Indiana Math right now because that's what they'll be tested on for the I-STEP. And then choose their grade level. For my students, I choose only the tutorial because I want them to have to take the tutorial and then do the quizzes, but you can do the other ones. Sometimes for my intervention groups, I will assign just the other ones so that we can work through those together, or for a class mini lesson, you can choose just the Brain Pop movie that's attached to that standard, or different things that you can pull up on your screen and do as a whole class activity. So there's lots of options, but back to our point at hand is to assign those objectives. Now, since my students already have them assigned, you'll have to bear with me and move along as we can. But I'm going to go ahead and click on it. There may show some that are not assigned for my kids because they've already completed them and they're no longer assigned to them, but we'll see what happens here. So we'll go ahead and click search. So we're finding all the math standards that are not assigned to my students in the 7th grade, and it's pulling up David because David is an 8th grader. So if I uncheck him and click on 7th grade, it's going to pop up and it's not going to show me anything. So but we'll go back and add him so I can show you what it would look like, and I can assign it for him and then unassign it for him if I need to. But so it'll list them all, and you'll see that he has not been assigned these, so it will say not assigned. So you can click this assign all right here at the top, and it will assign all of these objectives to the student at one time. It does take a little while for them all to show up, so you want to make sure that you don't go back 5 minutes later and think, oh, it wasn't assigned, and sign it again. It will catch up. It just, because it is a lot of data when you do a lot of them at a time, it will take a few minutes to get caught up. So I usually click the assign all and then go do something else and come back and make sure that it's correct and that the lists are there for them. And back to what I said about only doing 4 or 5 students at a time, if the data is too large for you to be able to do it all at one time, there will be a line through the assign all to where it will not be hyperlinked anymore and you will not be allowed to assign all. So that's if you want to do a whole set. Now, if you don't want to do a whole set and you just want all the standards to pop up, then you could go to the side and click on the specific standard or instructional resource that you want them to work on. So, you can manipulate the data quite a bit through there, or the resources. Now, if after you've assigned them and they've been working on them, that's where you want to click on assigned. And then I always just uncheck everything except for the ones they have completed. So now that I have 7th grade showing that I want to show what they have worked on and what they have completed, I want to see what their data is. So I'm going to keep all my students selected so that I can see all of them. And I'm going to refresh my search. You can also slide the score, so if you want to see only the proficient scores, so that you can mark off what they have accomplished, or they can mark off what they have accomplished, then you can slide that, and it will only then pop up the information in which you have selected it to. So as you can see, my students have, these are the ones my students have completed at what score and whatnot. Since I have the automatic reassigns, this one right here does not have the reassign button because it automatically reassigned it for her since she was under that 83% mark, so she missed more than one question. So you can see all of their data. The thing I like the most about this is that you can click export to spreadsheet and it will export it to Excel, and I always click no, I don't want it to select my data. So if I open it up, it's going to open it up in my Excel document. And now I can sort it and do whatever, delete items that I want to, save it. And this is what I usually do, is save it each day with the updated ones that they have completed, and then I conference with my students and check off to see where they're at and what they're doing. I also always insert a new column to the left, and then I just do the auto number for each student so that I can see their total number that they have completed, and things like that, so that I can manipulate the data and see where they are at if I need to do so. So with that in mind, that is how you assign and view the instructional resources within the instructional resource component of Acuity. Again, you can change grade level if you have students that are below grade level that you want to go back and refresh some and work on some standards that are below grade level. You can by all means use any of the alignment that is listed there. They have all of the different grade levels above or below.